Hello and welcome. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you step by step how I created a full cinematic documentary using only artificial intelligence. No cameras, no drones, no real underwater footage. Everything you are about to see was generated using AI tools and then carefully edited into a professional documentary. By the end of this video, you will understand the exact workflow I used so you can recreate the same process for your own projects. Whether you want to create history documentaries, mystery videos, or cinematic storytelling content for YouTube, this method will save you an enormous amount of time. Let's begin. The final project is a cinematic deep-sea documentary about a sunken World War II bomber aircraft. The story follows a slow descent into the ocean, the discovery of the wreck, and the emotional silence preserved beneath the surface. The pacing is calm, the visuals are cinematic, and the narration is respectful and immersive. Before choosing my tools, I tested multiple AI video generators. I compared ChatGPT with Sora and Gemini version 3 using Veo. I used the same prompts, the same cinematic descriptions, and the same expectations. After carefully comparing the generated videos, I noticed something very clear. Gemini Veo handled lighting, scale, underwater particles, and cinematic depth much better for this type of content. The footage felt more realistic, more atmospheric, and closer to a real documentary style. Because of that, I decided to use Gemini Veo for all video generation in this project. ChatGPT 5.2 still played a crucial role. I used it to write cinematic prompts, structure the documentary, create the voice-over script, and refine the storytelling. In simple terms, Gemini created the visuals and ChatGPT created the mind behind the documentary. Now, let's talk about prompts. A cinematic AI video prompt is not just a description, it's a set of instructions that defines mood, camera angle, realism, and emotion. Every prompt I use follows the same structure. First, I describe the subject, then the environment, then the emotional tone, then the camera perspective, and finally the cinematic and technical style. For example, instead of saying a plane underwater, I describe a sunken World War II bomber aircraft resting on the ocean floor, broken wings, corroded metal, sand partially covering the fuselage, cinematic documentary style, ultra detailed, volumetric lighting, underwater particles, 4K resolution, 16:9 aspect ratio, wide cinematic establishing shot. This level of detail helps the AI understand exactly what kind of image I want to generate. Once the prompt is ready, I paste it into Gemini Veo. I never generate only one version. I usually generate 2 or 3 variations, the same shot. This gives me options, and one version may have better lighting, another better framing, and another a stronger emotional atmosphere. After choosing the best result, I download the video in the highest quality available. I repeat this process for every single shot in the documentary. Before opening the editing software, I organize the story. The documentary follows a simple cinematic flow. First, the deep ocean abyss, then the diver descending, then the mysterious shadow, then the discovery of the aircraft, then quiet reflection, and finally, silence. This structure keeps the viewer emotionally engaged without rushing the story. Next, I move to CapCut. I create a new project and import all the AI-generated video clips. I place them on the timeline in story order, not in the order they were generated. I keep the cuts slow. Documentaries need room to breathe. Some shots stay on screen for 8 or even 10 seconds, allowing the viewer to fully absorb the scene. Once the visuals are in place, I write the narration. The voiceover is calm, measured, and respectful. I use short sentences and natural pauses. This style works extremely well for historical and cinematic documentaries. For decades, this aircraft lay hidden beneath the ocean, silent, forgotten, preserved by darkness and time. After the script is ready, I move to ElevenLabs. I choose a documentary-style voice with a neutral, professional tone. I make sure the pacing feels natural and not rushed. I avoid overly dramatic delivery. The power comes from restraint. Once the narration is generated, I download the audio and bring it back into CapCut. Then comes sound design. I add subtle background music, very quiet and atmospheric. I also add soft ambient ocean sounds underneath the narration. Sound design is what transforms AI visuals into a believable documentary experience. Finally, I export the project 4K resolution, 16:9 aspect ratio, high quality settings, and that's it. This entire documentary was created using artificial intelligence. The tools matter, but storytelling matters more. If you master XE prompts, pacing, ease, and narration, you can create powerful cinematic documentaries without ever touching a camera. And here it is, the final documentary.
For decades, this world has known only absolute darkness. The silence here is heavy, pressing down with the weight of the ocean, until now. Out of the obsidian black, a shadow rises. It is not rock, nor reef, it is a ghost, waiting to be found. A relic of a forgotten sky, a World War II bomber resting where it fell, broken but defiant. The sea has claimed it, wrapping its fuselage in a shroud of silt. Against the vastness of the deep, we are small. But this machine was a giant. Now it sleeps. Time has been gentle to the glass, but the war was not. The metal still bears the violent signatures of its final moments. Scars of fire, cooled forever by the deep. The engines that once roared with thunder are silent. Frozen in the exact moment, the spinning stopped. A monument to motion, now perfectly still. We cross the threshold. Leaving the ocean floor behind, we step back into history. The air inside is gone, replaced by the crushing cold, but the spirit remains. Here, the clock stopped, and here they remain, still at the controls, still flying a mission that ended 80 years ago. They did not leave their posts. In the silence of the fuselage, the Brotherhood holds fast, united in duty, united in rest. A name, a face, a fragment of a life that once breathed, loved, and feared. Now, just a glimmer in the beam of a light. We are visitors here, and our time is short. We leave them as we found them, undisturbed, unbroken. The darkness returns to claim its prize once more. The ocean keeps its secrets well. Rest in peace.